Yes. So a half hour reading would be great.
A half an hour, they're going to get the whole family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
That's
That is great. That is so generous. Thank you so much. And of course, all the money goes to Child Health Services on the Sunshine Coast. Charmaine, we've got to go. We're late for news.
Yes, we are.
It's always the same when you're here. We chat far too much. Good on you. But of course, Caloundra Event Centre, still some tickets for tonight's gig. Thanks for coming, Charmaine.
Thank you.
92.7 Mix FM.
Incredible value and amazing way deal.
Good job. God, it must be just exhausting for you. I don't know how you do it. It's
Tonight's
strange.
the exhausting bit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Can I just be really honest and say that sometimes he was a little bit of a chauvinist?
Yes.
You know, he's like women. This is the women's thing, you know?
Yes.
I would never come to a women's thing. The only reason it's a women's thing, because of you. No, that's no offence to you guys. That's him saying that.
Yes.
And I feel like he's rough as guts.
Yes.
He leans like this a lot, you know, so that looks like he's got a bar, you know? Because he must have had a bar at home. Does that make sense? Or he's always lean and, you know, like that. I don't get him as being a real big bloke, to be honest with you. Or his legs were quite thin. Bird's legs, I call them. You understand?
Yes.
He's going to hit me in a minute. I'll get it. Yeah, I can't feel it. But just as long as you know that he's here, that's the most important thing. Now, I feel like that with this... Now, this was a car accident, if I'm right.
Yes.
And let me have a look. He's just showing me a few things. It's almost like I feel, did he have an argument with someone that night? It's like he has an argument and he gets into the car or he drives off in a huff. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, rah, 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 rah. Oh, that's it, I'm going, type of deal. And this is why the accident occurred. And so he just lets me know that as well. Is there a Mark or a Mick, please, living or past? No, it's an M female name, excuse me. M.
Female.
It's an M-A name. Do you understand that?
A male, yes.
Yeah, what is it? Maddie, is it?
It's my husband.
That's your husband. Excuse me. I just didn't hear it quite.
Yep.
Now, he's still here, though, isn't he?
Yes.
And I feel like him and Maddie didn't always see eye to eye, did they?
No.
And I... I think they called each other the DH name regularly.
Yes.
And they just banded that backwards and forwards.
Yes.
And I feel like that, you know, and I... Yeah, okay. He's a rat.
He is.
He really is.
Yes.
Now, he shows me he really liked to drink with basically anything.
Yes.
But beer was his favourite thing. Was it VB, is that correct?
Yes.
Because I can see VB.
Yes.
And because there's a whole esky full in front of us.
That's
He
it.
just wishes he could open it. Sucked in. Oh, hey, he gives as good as he gets.
Yeah, yes.
He really does. He was the type of quiet man in his own right, wasn't he?
He was.
Very hard to get a word out of.
Very much so.
Yeah, nothing's changed. It's like pulling teeth. That's how I feel. I feel like I've got... And he's just standing there, well, what do you want me to say? Anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I feel like, too, that he had this type of moodiness about him, you know?
he did.
And he also would type of... It's almost like he escapes to the shed or to the shed, you know?
Yeah.
And he's always fart-assing around there with... I don't know, he looks like he's... Do you like to work on cars and things? Is that correct? Because I can see all the cars.
Yeah.
And I can just see that's where he preferred to be. And I don't know if she's actually acknowledged any strange...
She has. She says there's a man.
You know where... Hey?
She has. She always comes out and says there's a man in her room with her.
You know who that is, don't you?
Yeah.
That's your grand... And this is why he really wanted to come through for you tonight, is because that will put your fears at rest. Do you understand? It's just Granddad. It's no one strange. He didn't mean to scare you. So just as long as you understand that. Your grandfather is 100% okay, or he needs for you to know that. And what he was such a smart dressed man too, wasn't he?
Yes.
He wasn't this, stubbies and thongs guy. He was always smartly dressed. He always looked nice. He was always clean shaven.
Yes.
And he always smelt lovely. He had a lot of his hair before he left, actually.
Lots.
Good
Lots.
head of hair.
Yes.
You know, for his age, he wasn't
Yes.
that old actually, but there you go. Now, his mum's passed as well, hasn't she?
Yes.
And I just feel like that she was a bit gentler, but she was a little bit, Dad was a bit overbearing, do you understand?
Yes.
And I feel like that mum type of sat back a bit in the relationship.
Yes.
And she lets me know that she was always a little bit too shy to come forward, you know? A little bit too shy to speak up and stick up for you kids
Yes.
at times. I know that your life hasn't been easy, you know, because I'm not going to describe what I'm seeing, but you and I know exactly what that means.
Yes.
Now, your mum was pretty crook at the end.
Yes.
And she's telling me that she must have had a very swollen stomach
Yes.
at the end. And I don't know if this means that she had, I don't think, was it a cancer that happened, or was just a fluid all gathered in her,
No.
a fluid all gathered in her body with the heart,
Cancer.
wasn't it? Yeah.
No, cancer.
It was a cancer. Was it with the stomach?
Yes.
Oh, duh. I'm thinking it was with the stomach. It's all
No,
there.
she always looked like she's having a baby.
Yeah,
for about
it's
20
that's
years.
how it looks to me. She looks very swollen. Who is the person in your spirit world that made the beautiful big table?
Bobby.
Bobby? Oh,
Yeah.
he just keeps
Yeah.
butting in, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Because she's saying, well, I used to make babies' clothes. He's saying, but I made a table.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
But just as long as you know that Bobby made the table, it's absolutely gorgeous, so we're going to give him that. He knew what he was doing in that area, that's for sure. The people generally are very curious about what I do all the way across Australia. Sometimes I'm really scared to tell people what I do because then they're going to want a reading immediately so I can prove my point. But other times it's an absolute pleasure to meet people, and then all of a sudden their spirit folk are coming through, whether you like it or not. And that's really surprising for them, especially when you're in some tiny little town with about 15 or 150 people in it, and you've just stopped to get a meat pie, which actually happened to us in Crystal Brook, South Australia. We stopped to actually get petrol, and the lady there started talking to me about some loss, so we gave her some books, and then consequently met her daughter at a show about 2 weeks ago. So, word gets around when you're type of doing this job. I can't tell you the amount of times that when people actually recognise me when I walk into a shop or something, and oh my God, you're that lady from The One. And The One, for those of you who don't know, was a show on Channel 7 in 2008 that I actually won for Australia's Most Gifted Psychic. And they get really excited, which really blows me away because I don't actually feel celebrity, but they actually see me as like a celebrity. And I've never actually seen myself like that. I just see myself as someone who's got a very important message. Oh my God, he's just there. Another 2 minutes I would have had him. The experience has been tremendous. It isn't anything I ever dreamed I'd do. Your mother liked to dance when she was younger?
Yes.
But it's that self-doubt that pushes you forward, propels you like an arrow.
Mate, if she hit me any harder, mate, I'd fall off the stage.
This show has shown me that I'm not just a medium, I'm a remote viewer, I'm a psychometrist, and I have learnt so much. You would have had a lot of time in physio. You've had a hard run, lady.
She was brilliant. She was really good.
Something's been sparked in me, something's been opened up. I actually feel a bit sad that it's all over.
It has been a very interesting ride. All right, I have in my hand the result. We're about to discover who is the one, Australia's most gifted psychic. Before I do it, one final test. Ezio, who's the one?
You serious?
I'm serious.
You serious? Charmaine.
Charmaine. Who's the one, Charmaine?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be me, to be honest.
You think it's you?
I think so, yeah.
Amanda?
Charmaine.
Charmaine. It's time to find out. Who is the one? And the one, as voted by you, Australia, is Charmaine Wilson. Good on you, Charmaine.
Right at the beginning, my guide said to me, we want you to go to all the smaller regional towns of Australia and we want you to give a message. We want you to give as many messages from Spirit as you can, but we want you to give one message. And the one message that they want me to give is that they really do want to stop being a moment of death. They really do want to be, they don't want to be the person that made you bitter about life. They want you to not think that they just died. They want you to remember how they lived. They don't want to be the person who took your life away. They don't want to be the person who died and 3 people stopped living because of them. They want you to enjoy your life. That is the message. They really want you to understand that. Did you used to wear a musk perfume
In the early days.
when you first met him?
Yep.
Right. And he loved it, didn't he?
Yes.
He would snuffle up to you, right? Okay.
Yes.
And he's still hot for you now. Don't put the perfume on, whatever you do. You might get something you never quite bargained for, you know what I'm saying? Your man loves you very, very much. Have you got another relationship now, is that correct?
No.
No, okay.